The moment I signed that paper, I felt like I had just traded my entire life for something I did not even understand. The registrar asked me one last time if I was sure, and I said nothing because I knew my answer did not matter anymore. My hand tightened around the pen until it hurt, and then I wrote my name anyway. Emma Carter, daughter of a powerful empire, had just married a man in worn boots and a faded jacket while strangers quietly laughed behind her. The room felt suffocating, filled with judgment that pressed against my skin like heat. I could hear whispers without needing to turn around, people questioning my sanity, wondering what kind of threat or scandal could force someone like me into this kind of marriage. But then something strange happened. Every phone in the room began vibrating at once, and the energy shifted instantly. Faces changed from amusement to confusion, then to shock, as if the world outside that small office had suddenly tilted. I did not check my phone, I looked at the man beside me instead. Daniel Brooks stood calm and steady, as if nothing unusual had happened. He signed his name without hesitation, without pride, without fear, like it was just another task to complete. I did not know it yet, but the man I had just married was the reason every single person in that room had just gone silent. I grew up knowing exactly what my last name meant. It opened doors, controlled conversations, and carried expectations that were impossible to escape. My father, Richard Carter, never raised his voice, but his control was absolute. He built everything in our lives like a blueprint, and I was just another piece in that design. When he called me back home from London, I did not argue, even though I had finally built something of my own there. The truth came out in his study one afternoon without warning. The company was failing. Not struggling, not slowing down, but collapsing in a way that could not be hidden anymore. Years of bad decisions and one devastating loss had pushed everything to the edge. Then he told me there was a solution, and I felt something cold settle in my chest before he even finished the sentence. Marriage, not for love, not for partnership, but as a transaction. A deal made behind closed doors with a man I had never met. When I asked who he was, the answer made no sense. A single father, a mechanic, a man with nothing. Yet somehow, he held the power to save everything my family had built. I looked at my father, my stepmother, and my uncle, and realized they had already decided. I was not being asked, I was being traded. The first time I saw Daniel, I expected arrogance or desperation, but I found neither. He stood there quietly, watching me with a calm that unsettled me more than anything else could have. There was no hunger in his eyes, no sense of victory, just acceptance. That made it worse. It made me feel like I had already lost something I could not name. Moving into his house felt like stepping into another world. It was small, simple, and completely unfamiliar. Nothing about it matched the life I had known. But what surprised me the most was not the house. It was his daughter, Lily. She looked at me with pure curiosity, without judgment or hesitation, and asked if I was going to live there now. I did not know how to answer that, so I said something safe and temporary. The days that followed were quiet in a way I was not used to. Daniel never demanded anything from me. He did not question me, did not try to control me, and did not remind me of the arrangement that had brought us together. Instead, he simply existed in a way that felt steady and deliberate. Coffee was always ready in the morning. Food appeared without discussion. Small things were taken care of without acknowledgement. At first, I thought it was all part of some careful act, but then I started noticing things that did not fit. The way he spoke sometimes, the things he understood without explanation. One day, he casually commented on a financial structure I had been discussing, and it was so precise that it made me stop mid-sentence. A mechanic should not have known that. It stayed with me. Then came the phone call I was not supposed to hear. I walked in on him speaking quietly about international investments, acquisitions, and decisions that could shift entire markets. He spoke like someone who was used to being obeyed. Later that day, I saw the consequences of that call unfold in real time. Deals collapsed, positions shifted, and suddenly, nothing about him made sense anymore. I started digging because that was what I had always been good at. Finding patterns, spotting what did not belong. And when I finally uncovered the truth, it felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. Daniel Brooks was not just a mechanic. He was a man who had once controlled billions, who had walked away from power without explanation, and who had been hiding in plain sight for years. Everything changed after that. Even though nothing on the surface did, I started seeing him differently. The way he moved, the way he spoke, the way he chose silence instead of control. It was not weakness, it was choice, and for the first time, I began to feel something I had not expected: respect. When my family's company was attacked again, it was not my father who saved it. It was Daniel, quietly, invisibly, without asking for recognition. And when everything started falling apart around me, he did not offer solutions or lectures. He simply sat across from me with a cup of tea and let me feel what I needed to feel. That moment stayed with me longer than anything else. The truth finally revealed itself completely at a financial conference I attended weeks later. I was not expecting him to be there, but when he walked onto that stage, the entire room shifted. Powerful people who controlled entire industries paid attention to him in a way I had never seen before, and in that moment, I understood just how wrong I had been about him from the very beginning. When we finally talked about everything, there was no anger, no accusations, just honesty. He told me about his past, about the betrayal that made him walk away, and about the life he chose afterward for his daughter. And I told him the truth too, that I had never really had a choice when I married him, but somewhere along the way, something real had started to grow between us. The final test came when someone tried to destroy him using his past. This time, I did not stand back. I stepped forward and fought for him the way he had fought for my family, not because I owed him anything but because I wanted to. And when it was over, when everything settled, I realized something that changed everything. I was no longer trapped. Months later, standing in that small house with the green door, watching Lily laugh about something completely unimportant, I felt something I had never felt in my entire life: peace. Not the kind that comes from power or control, but the kind that comes from choosing where you belong. One evening, I told him the truth, that I wanted to stay. Not because of the agreement, not because of obligation, but because I had finally figured out what I actually wanted. He did not react dramatically. He simply reached for my hand and held it, steady and certain. Later that night, as I stood by the window listening to the soft sound of wind chimes outside, I thought about everything I had almost lost. The company, the expectations, the life I had been raised to protect. And then I looked around that small, imperfect, real home and realized something that felt almost unbelievable. I had not lost anything at all. I had finally found something worth choosing.